It's a beautiful day. Car service.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
That's weird. Mom, check out my amazing cup. It's my coffee mug that I bought. Check it out. It's awesome. Open it. How good is it?
It's a frigging radio cup.
No, it's not radio.
No. On divide.
How awesome is that? How awesome is it? It's a camera lens, but it's a coffee mug.
No.
Yeah, open the top.
Radio. It says Canon.
Yeah, and it doesn't say Canon. It doesn't say Canon. It says Canium.
Canium, because it's not allowed to say Canon.
That's awesome.
Canium zoom lens EF 24-150.
Bye, Mum. Hung out with my mum, now I'm getting ready for the gym. Oh yeah! Mobile phones. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little about mobile phones. I've been quite interested in technology as it has evolved since 2007 and the advent of smartphones as opposed to normal sort of CDMA screen and keyboard phones that were populating society ever since the first mobile phone started to be used around the 1992 mark. It's been an interesting graduation, not only from a technological point of view, but also from a consumer point of view, because as the technology grows to the point where it far exceeds the needs of the user, the shift in marketing has been from one of practicality to one of convenience. Now there are so many uses to the smartphone because it's capacity and abilities. They're having to try and research and find out what do consumers want the most. Not just what do they need, but what do they want the most. So it's a really interesting paradigm shift. Whereas in the old days, the advertisements were like,
new SMS with predictive text,
or
new screen that's LCD instead of monochrome so you can see color.
You know, people were like, oh my God, I need that. You know, I need to be able to see my pictures in color on my phone. Nowadays, it's like what version of Android provides the least amount of lag when you change screens. With Apple phones, it's where is my microphone jack? Is it on the top or the bottom? And how many speakers does it have, 2 or 1? And how many megapixels does the camera have so I can do good quality photos on Instagram? All these little preferences which some people think is a priority and others don't. It's a fascinating market. So right up until 2012, I had every iPhone that would come out. I had the iPhone 2, the iPhone 3, 3S, the iPhone 4. And when the iPhone 4 came out, that is when Android started really kicking into the big market. But it was just a competing software company was trying to develop phones that weren't Apple. They're trying to break the conglomerates. What has happened is, even though Apple produced such a high quality phone in terms of its build, in terms of its iOS, it never lagged on the phone. It was always very high quality. Viruses weren't really a part of anything because it was such a secure system, such an easy system to use as well. The problem is that in order to do anything other than the basic thing with it, you have to plug it into a computer and sync it with iTunes. You can't just use it as a data dumping ground where you can put on your movies, your TV shows, all that kind of stuff. You can't just dump that from any computer. You have to have it plugged into your computer only, your iTunes only, and sync only the files that iTunes will allow you to sync. It tries to keep itself secure and isolated, but what that means is you can't use it as a USB, you can't put any file you want on the phone just as a means of storage. And doing new and interesting files, like when the MKV video format came out, iPhone was completely stumped, whereas Android, someone out there immediately created an app for Android and the MKV video was immediately playable. Android phones, you can plug them into a computer and use them as a USB. You can access the entire file system of an Android phone to put your pictures, movies, downloads. You can organize it any way you like, just like as your own personal computer. You can open things from everywhere you like. You can change things around, and this is a massive amount of versatility. And that's not for everyone, but for me that was an awesome thing, and that's why I now hate Apple. I hate the way they do business. They even get to the point now where not only do they isolate your phone from files other than what they approve, but they force files onto your phone from the cloud. When the new iPhone 6 came out, they pushed the latest U2 album onto everyone's phone on the globe without their permission. And every time someone tried to delete the album because either they didn't like it, didn't want it, whatever, it was immediately pushed back onto their phone again. And I find that a fundamental breach of a person's right to control their own media, particularly when the media that they're controlling is their bank details, their phone details, their pictures, their personal movies, all that kind of stuff is on their phone. It scares me when I think about how much the cloud influences the phones. Android, there's still an element of cloud, but you can turn all of that off. But certainly, as far as I'm aware, nothing has been as bad as that for Android. Nothing's ever been pushed without people's consent or anything like that. Okay, I'm just going to give you the 3 things that I think you consider when you're choosing a phone for yourself. Every year or every 2 years, someone thinks about, oh, what's the latest phone? Does that have something that I might make use of? And here are 3 things that I think you should consider. Number 1, size. Do you want a phablet which is greater than 5 inches in your hand? I know some people with small hands love phablets. Even though they have small hands, they love to be able to write on it or you watch movies on it, whereas other people with small hands, they hate it. Or do you want a normal size phone which is less than 5 inches, like the standard iPhone 5, the Sony Z5, the Samsung S5, the LG G4? So you need to decide what kind of size you want, whether you want a big one or a small one. Number 2, you need to decide how much versatility you want in your phone. Are you going to use a phone just for your basics, SMSs, phone calls, Viber, Skype, and that's pretty much it? You're not going to be using it for any multimedia. You're not going to be needing to store any files on it. You just want a basic communication device which works well, looks good, won't break when you drop it. Or do you want a versatile phone? On my phone, I have a 128 gig micro SD card, which means I can install the entire TV series of Star Trek on my phone. I can store all the latest movies on my phone. I can store every Word document I need in terms of university work. I can store all of my work files on there. I can store everything there under a password lock, and I can access it just by plugging it into a computer and unlocking my phone, and it's there. If you want that kind of versatility, then you shouldn't go for Apple. You need to go with an Android phone. Number 3. Number 3 is really a style thing. Are you one of those people that want to have the latest and greatest awesome phones just because you can say,
I've got the latest and greatest awesome phone, and you like to show people, say, check out my awesome phone, look how beautiful it is, oh my god, haven't you seen this before, it's amazing?
Or are you a person that does not really care about that? You just want a phone that functions well, you're not going to show it off, it does its good job, etc. If that's the case, then you need to think about how much money you want to spend. For the latest phones, you are going to be paying the premium prices. Now, it's always better to buy outright for phones rather than go on contracts, because that's generally, in Australia, certainly going to save you about between $200 and $500 in terms of overall cost over the time of the contract. But we're talking the latest flagship phones with the latest features are going to cost anywhere from $600 all the way up to $1,200, depending on which phone you get. So $600, you might be talking about the Galaxy S7, whereas $1,200, you might be talking about the Apple iPhone 6s. But what I would recommend, if you're not into the latest styles and all that kind of stuff, go with the not the most recent models that all the shops are trying to push on you, but go on an older model, even a 1 year older model. So for example, the Galaxy S5, because it's been superseded twice now, is very, very cheap, and yet it is still one of the fastest and best phones you can get out there. It does everything you need to do. It's still fully supported by most of the software out there, and it will not cost you very much at all. There's hundreds of them sitting out there in the world, and on eBay you can find them. If you can get your hands on one of those, then that will absolutely do a great job for you. Anyway, those are my thoughts on phones. So people like the content I'm doing, which is awesome. So I'm going to do 2 videos a week. If you would like to show your support for the videos, then what you can do is you can watch them on YouTube and then just be a subscriber, and then they'll just pop up on your subscription notification every time a new video comes, and that actually would keep me making videos as well. Oh, sorry.
I'm on the electricity.